Hello and a pleasant good afternoon or good evening to all of you Chicago Cubbies baseball fans. Hello, and if you are anyone new out there watching this channel for the very first time, welcome. So happy you guys are here for this episode of Cubs Baseball with Ry Cannot. I actually got to be honest with you, we got a fun episode to talk about today, and I think today or tonight. See, almost dropped my notebook, my notes. All right, but let's get right into it, guys. Welcome back to the channel of Cubs Baseball with Ry Cannot. The final game in Cactus League play before the Chicago Cubbies head on a 14-hour flight to Tokyo, Japan for 4 games. We'll get to that in a little bit. Just to give you a little question, if there is anything regarding the Cubs playing in Japan you want me to cover, if you want me to cover the Tokyo Dome and stuff about the Tokyo Dome, I am happy to do that. If you want me to talk about the two opponents the Cubs will play in exhibition play over there, I will be happy to talk about that as well. So if there's any stuff like that you want me to cover, let me know down below in the comment section. And also, guys, by the way, 1 week from today or tonight, the Chicago Cubbies have their official home opener of the 2025 MLB regular season against the defending champs, the Dodgers. It's going to be a good one. All right. Well, guys, we had a doozy one at Sloan Park today. The Cubs hosting the Milwaukee Brewers, a battle of the NL Central down at beautiful Sloan Park. The top of the first inning was actually definitely not really a fun one. The Milwaukee Brewers would score 5 runs in the top of the first inning off of Justin Steele. And believe it or not, going to the bottom of the first, the Cubs were already trailing and by a lot. They were already down 5-0. But right to the bottom of the first, the Cubs answered back. Ian Happ would actually be on second base, and he would score all the way from second base on a wild pitch. That cut the lead for Milwaukee. The Cubs were on the board 5-1. Next batter was Michael Busch. RBI single. The lead for the Milwaukee Brewers, now shortening even more. That made it a 5-2 ball game. And what about one of the top prospects for the Chicago Cubbies and a guy that will go to Tokyo, Matt Shaw, RBI double. He made it a 5-3 ball game. What about, we can't talk about Matt Shaw unless we talk about PCA. And PCA is fast with that new number. PCA, RBI single. He made it a 1-run ball game. So going to the bottom of the first, the Cubs were down 5-0. And they would score 4 runs in the bottom of the first. And go to the second inning, we had a doozy and a brand new ball game. The Cubs were trailing 5-4. We fast forward to the bottom of the third. Carson Kelly, RBI single. That gave the Cubs on the board. It was 7-5. Well, guys, what about if we're going to talk about all of this? And like I said, we had a doozy in front of the Cub faithful at Sloan Park. Jon Berti, how could you not talk about Jon Berti, guys? He gets a sac fly RBI. He got the Cubs within 1. It was 7-6. The Cubs would then be kept off the board for a couple more innings, but in the bottom of the 8th, Hayden McGarry scores on a wild pitch. That gave it 8-7, but the Cubs were still trailing, and the Milwaukee Brewers would answer back in the top of the ninth to make it 9-7, but the Cubs would not give up there. They were down to their last 3 outs, and they would threaten just a teeny tiny bit. But guys, unfortunately, the Cubs, hey, like I said, the other night on Sunday afternoon at Sloan, it was a heartbreaking loss. Yesterday, the Cubs get the W. And unfortunately, the Cubs fall short. 9-7, your final score from Sloan Park. And like I said, guys, that is now back-to-back losses for the Cubs at Sloan Park. But the good news, now it is over, guys. The Cubs will not play any more games in the Cactus League on the road. And I do not count the MLB Prospect Series. I don't count that. So when the Cubs return to Arizona for Cactus League play, they will play 4 more games, and all 4 of them will be at Sloan Park. The opponents will be the A's, the Rockies, and the Atlanta Braves. Those are the only remaining games the Chicago Cubbies have at Sloan Park. Again, I am not counting the MLB Prospect Series. But a little bit about it, guys. Actually, the next time the Cubs will play at Sloan Park, and I'm talking about this, the Cubs will play Saturday night, a MLB Cubs prospect game. It will be the Angels prospects and the Cubs prospects at a night game Saturday night from Sloan Park, and we will cover that on the channel. Now, about Japan, again, 1 week from today or tonight, the Cubs begin the 2025 MLB regular season, but they will play 2 exhibition games. One will be this Friday night, and the other will be Sunday morning. If you guys want me to discuss the teams a little bit about those Japanese teams they will face, let me know. If there's anything regarding the Japan series and the Cubs in Japan at all you want me to talk about, please let me know as well. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do as much as you want me to, but I do need to know that we all do know, guys. And you know what? I'm not going to do it in this episode. I will do it in another, but we will talk about it. However, I will say this, guys. We are less than a week away. We are actually just a couple of days away until the Cubs will play in the Tokyo Dome. Remember, this Friday night they will play, and Sunday morning they will play as well. The Dodgers will also play the same 2 Japanese teams as well in exhibition game play. Well, guys, luckily, the good news about today is it wasn't back-to-back losses. The Cubs got a W yesterday. The bad news is it's back-to-back losses for the Cubbies at Sloan Park. So, yeah, guys, now it is a 14-hour flight to the beautiful city of Tokyo, Japan, guys. The one and only and talented T-Mac, Taylor McGregor, will be on that flight along with Jim DeShays. Guys, we are only a couple days away from seeing the Chicago Cubs play a game in the Tokyo Dome. And like I said, guys, 1 week from tonight, the Chicago Cubs begin the 2025 MLB season against the defending World Series champs, the LA Dodgers. It is going to be must-see, can't-miss TV, especially with baseball. And I got to tell you guys about Japanese fans, I'm sorry, but they are more diehard baseball fans than American fans. Believe me, I've been to the Tokyo Dome. I've been at the Tokyo Dome. I've been watching a game in the Tokyo Dome before. It is something very unique I got to do a while back, and it is one of my most memorable baseball memories. But one more time, guys, the Cubs fall very short against the Milwaukee Brewers, 9-7, your final score. But other than that, guys, it was a great day for baseball. The ball flew out of Sloan Park today, which is actually likely. The ball flies in Arizona very, very well. But yeah, guys, on Thursday night, the Cubs prospects will play. We will be covering that. So the Cubs and the Dodgers actually meet in the prospect series at Camelback Ranch on Thursday night. We will cover that game right here on the channel. And then Friday night, it is the Cubs taking on a NPB team from the Tokyo Dome. It will be fun and all of that. So again, guys, anything about Japan on the Cubs you actually want me to talk about, let me know. I can talk about the Tokyo Dome. There is a lot of things that is very unique about the Tokyo Dome that the internet does not provide that I actually know. So if you want me to talk about that, please let me know. And all of that, guys. The Cubs will play 2 NPB teams. If you want me to discuss the history of those 2 NPB teams, please let me know. I'm also more than happy to do that, guys. But other than that, guys, it was a tough loss, but it was a great game in front of the Cub faithful at Sloan Park. And ladies and gentlemen, we are only 1 week away from the Cubs opener part 1, when it will be Dodgers Cubs from the Tokyo Dome. And guess what? That will also be opening day and home opener. The Cubs will have 2 regular season home openers 1 week from today, and then also on April 4th as well at Wrigley Field. All right, Cub fans, again, I have those questions. If you want me to cover them, please let me know. But other than that, guys, have an awesome rest of your Tuesday night, guys, and I will see you all right back here in the next episode. As always, thanks for watching, and as always, go Cubs go.